Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome, everyone. Have you ever wondered why the sound of someone gently tapping their nails on a desk might send a shiver of absolute delight down your spine, while the person sitting right next to you looks like they want to run screaming out of the room? Today, we're exploring a truly fascinating topic that gets right to the core of how we experience the world around us. We're going to look at why our nervous systems react so completely differently to sound. So this right here is our central sensory paradox. Just think about it for a second. The exact same audio, a soft whisper, the slow tapping of fingernails on wood, maybe the crinkle of some packing paper, can bring deep, comforting calm to one person while triggering intense irritation and distress in another. It's not just a matter of taste, it's literally biology. Section 1. The Sensory Paradox. Untangling ASMR and Sensory Processing. The brain's traffic system. To really understand why we react the way we do, we first have to understand our body's traffic system. How do we process the constant, frankly overwhelming stream of environmental input hitting us every single second of the day? If you've ever felt like you're overly sensitive to sound, or if you actively seek out ASMR to calm down, your experience is entirely valid. But to make sense of it, we really need to look under the hood at what your brain is actually doing. Sensory processing is the underlying biological mechanism for literally everything we hear, feel, and see. Just take a second to think about this. Right now, your nervous system is receiving light from your screen, sound from my voice, the feeling of the chair beneath you, the temperature of the room, and even internal body signals, all at the exact same time. Your brain has to miraculously make sense of all of it simultaneously. It's genuinely incredible when you stop to think about it. Because of this massive amount of data, your brain basically acts like a master traffic controller. It has to instantly decide, okay, what input actually matters right now, what can safely fade into the background, and what requires immediate urgent action. For some people, that traffic controller filter is incredibly sensitive. Things that others completely ignore, like the hum of a fluorescent light, an itchy shirt tag, or the sound of someone chewing a carrot like it's a competitive sport, become totally impossible to tune out. Think of a sensitive nervous system like a highly sensitive microphone. On one hand, that microphone is amazing, right? It can capture a beautiful, quiet sound like a gentle, soothing whisper with incredible depth and richness. But on the other hand, because it is so sensitive, it easily picks up harsh static. And a sudden loud noise, well, that can overwhelm the system and feel like a full-body alarm. A sensitive nervous system can detect softness deeply, but it can also be easily overloaded by harshness. Both involve sensitivity, but the emotional direction is totally different. Section 2. ASMR versus disorders, defining the boundaries. Now, this is a very important distinction to make. ASMR sensitivity means a person experiences pleasant tingles, relaxation, or emotional comfort from gentle sensory triggers. Sensory processing disorder, on the other hand, means sensory input is hard to filter, tolerate, or organize to the point where it actually interferes with daily functioning. We're talking about severe overwhelm in offices, supermarkets, or social settings. One can be incredibly pleasant and comforting. The other can be disruptive, exhausting, or downright painful. Some people have both, some have one, some have neither. But it's absolutely crucial to remember that ASMR sensitivity is not a medical diagnosis for a sensory processing disorder. It's definitely worth pausing here to emphasize something really important. If a specific ASMR trigger, like tapping or mouth sounds, actually annoys you, that is completely normal. It does not mean something is broken, and it definitely doesn't equal a medical condition. Just because a sound is hugely popular online doesn't mean your specific nervous system has to like it. Section 3. The Science of Sensitivity. Let's see what the research actually says. So, what does recent neurological and psychological research tell us about these stark individual differences? Well, research clearly supports the idea that people who experience ASMR often have heightened sensory sensitivity. A 2021 study by Roberts, Beath, and Bogue found that people with stronger ASMR reported greater interoceptive sensitivity. Interoception is basically your ability to perceive sensations inside your own body, like your heartbeat or your digestion. They also found heightened body awareness and a broader sensory sensitivity overall. And as Porio's research in 2018 showed, ASMR produces reliable changes in our affect and physiology. Basically, ASMR is far more likely in people whose nervous systems naturally notice subtle internal and external cues.
A brand new 2025 study in Scientific Reports highlights something absolutely fascinating: affective touch. You see, ASMR is often described as feeling touch-like, even though no physical contact is actually happening. This study investigated how affective touch sensitivity shapes those ASMR differences. And it turns out, for many people, ASMR sounds tap right into our affective touch mechanisms, making it feel like they are literally touching the body from a distance. Pretty wild, right?
This beautifully connects the dots between a whole range of experiences. A 2024 review of brain circuits discussed ASMR right alongside other altered sensory processing experiences. You've got ASMR, which is a pleasant response. You have misophonia, which is a strong, highly negative reaction to specific noises like chewing or repetitive human sounds. And you have frisson, which are emotional chills, often for music. The point here isn't that these are the exact same condition. The point is that these sensory emotional responses show that incredibly small sensory details can carry massive emotional weight. Our nervous systems for sure do not treat sensory input as neutral.
Section 4. Mapping your sensory profile.
Now that we understand the science, how do we practically apply this to our own lives? The most important rule is respect your limits. If you're sensory seeking, you might love layered triggers like tapping mixed with brushing, complex binaural movements, or structured role plays. If you're sensory sensitive, you likely need minimal triggers, just one soft voice kept at a low volume, and absolutely no sudden cuts or sharp tapping. And if you're sensory avoidant, ASMR might need to be extremely gentle, or hey, it simply might not be useful for you at all. Remember this: ASMR is not exposure therapy. If a trigger causes distress, do not push through it. It's meant to make your nervous system feel safer, not trapped.
So, how do you find what actually works for your unique nervous system? Try this highly practical method. Just grab a piece of paper and make 3 columns: calming, neutral, and irritating. This is a safe, simple way to track which common triggers actually do what they're supposed to do for your nervous system. Here's how you use it. Step 1. For 1 week, just write down every trigger you try: soft talking, brushing, crinkling, medical role play, water sounds. Step 2. Sort them into one of those 3 columns, entirely without judgment. And honestly, it is totally okay if a sound is calming on Tuesday but irritating on Friday. Just track it. Step 3. By the end of the week, find your unique pattern. Maybe a close whispering voice helps, but mouth sounds are an instant no. Maybe tapping is fine, but only if it's super slow. Maybe you realize visual ASMR works way better for you than sound. Having that personal sensory map is infinitely more valuable than following any online trend. The nervous system assigns emotional meaning to sound, touch, and movement. For some, that meaning is comfort. For others, it's a threat. And often it just depends on the day, your stress levels, and the state of your body. The goal is never, ever to force yourself into someone else's favorite sound. The goal is to learn and gently speak your own nervous system's language. So I'll leave you with this to think about today. What is that one ASMR trigger that seems universally loved by millions, but makes your unique nervous system hit the alarm bell? Understanding that difference isn't just about finding a good audio track. It's the very first step to true sensory peace. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring what makes your mind and body click.